Hey, are you trying to actually get better at this thing? If you want to do it at a rapid pace, you're going to have to develop a strong left hand. There's no way around it. We have hammer-ons and pull-offs and bar chords and everything like that thrown at us pretty early in the game. So if we have a weak left hand, we're going to be left in the dust. We're going to be struggling to play our pieces. It's never going to be musical. We're not going to have fun. We're going to get very frustrated. So let's take a look at a very common piece. This is a piece that everybody knows. This is the prelude from the first Bach cello suite. And this one utilizes the hammer-on and pull-off technique quite a bit. It happens in many, many measures of this piece. All right, so as you can see, there's a lot going on top of the hammer-ons and pull-offs. We've got bar chords. We've got fingers fixed on other strings while the technique is happening. Some minor stretches, nothing too crazy, but still enough to cause an added stress. So this technique has to be solid. And it can't sound weak. It cannot sound like one of the notes that you're playing is much softer. Otherwise, there's no point in utilizing the technique. So let's take a look at the very base of what we have to do. We have to make sure that our ascending slurs sound with the same quality as our plucked notes. Here's the slurred version again. You see, I can't make it sound like I'm losing volume. If I'm losing too much volume and the quality is degrading, no point in using the technique. Let's take a look at the descending version. So that's plucked, and now here is the pull-off. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm of course going to check it over with my other finger combinations. You have 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and then 3 and 4. You're going to probably notice that 1 and 2 is going to be the best. It's going to have the best volume. It's going to have the best endurance. And then 2 and 3 is going to be weak. And then 3 and 4 is going to be weak in comparison again. Remember, focus your practicing on what is the weakest. This is not about showing off, and this is not about giving yourself a confidence boost. This is about cutting down on total practice time by including these supplementary exercises. You see, when you have these techniques happening within the context of a piece, because they kind of happen at random moments and they might happen for just a little burst of time, you don't quite have enough time to isolate a technique when you're actually working on a piece of music. And what happens is those parts might not get enough volume, repetition, attention, and it takes so long for you to work up that technique within the context of a piece. Now, when you're able to isolate it with a set of exercises, well, now you can look at it just a little bit each day, but it's really, really, really focused. There's a lot of volume and a lot of attention just given to the specific technique. So what happens is, even though we are carving out some of our practice time to do these exercises, we're actually having more time left over to then work on the more fun things that happen in a piece of music, because it's not just about fingerings and techniques and the notes, right? It's about having an interpretation that really speaks to you. It really moves you when you're playing. And it's also about having something very unique and original to say. How are you going to be able to do any of those things when you're struggling with the hammer-on and pull-off technique? The struggle is going to be so distracting for you that you're not even going to get to the musical parts, okay? So after you're done working on those basics, what you want to do is continue to listen for the quality of the sound, but now you want to utilize a fixed finger technique with your hammer-ons and pull-offs. So how do we do that? We take fingers 1 and 2. They're going to be our working fingers. We're going to be doing hammer-ons and pull-offs on frets 1 and 2 of the first string. We're going to take fingers 3 and 4, and we're going to fix them on the second string on frets 3 and 4. Now we're going to pluck the first 2 strings with our right hand. I'm using fingers I and M together, and now I'm going to do these fingers fixed and the slurs happening on 1 and 2. Take a listen. What is that giving you? Well, it's taking away this factor, the ability to sort of swing your hand back and forth and use a little bit more weight to kind of cheat and get a stronger slur technique. When you put these fingers down, that's similar to what you might be doing in some of the pieces that you're playing, right? Now, we're going to work on our middle two fingers. Remember, these are weaker for us, so we're going to have to spend more time on them. I'm going to fix my index finger on the first fret of the second string. I'm going to fix my pinky finger on the fourth fret of the second string. And now I'm going to do my 2-3 combination for the hammer-on and pull-off. This is on the first string. Okay, listening to that, I'm noticing that it's much quieter. It's not as strong as my 1 and 2. Again, that's just feedback for me to work on that more. Now I'm going to work on my last two fingers, third finger and pinky finger. I'm going to fix fingers 1 and 2 on frets 1 and 2 of the second string. And then I'm going to do ring finger and pinky on frets 3 and 4 of the first string. Take a listen. So that one is better than my fingers 2 and 3, but I still think that it's not quite as good as fingers 1 and 2 for me. So I am going to have to spend more volume with that particular combination. Remember, you start with the most difficult stuff first and you work outward from there. That way, your weakest links are always going to get the first attention in your practicing. This is really important. We tend to want to play stuff that we play well, and because it gives us a nice dopamine boost to hear that we're doing something really, really well. That's good every once in a while, but that is not how you improve. You actually improve by challenging yourself, by struggling just a little bit every day and getting better at whatever you're struggling with. That is the key to getting better at classical guitar technique. And you have to fool yourself to enjoy that process. You have to fool yourself to love the challenge. I know that it's hard, and I know that it can be challenging, and I know that it can also feel like you're improving either so slowly or sometimes not improving at all. I promise, if you're working carefully and you're recording yourself and you're listening, you are improving. I promise you, you're always moving forward. Just continue to work, continue to listen to yourself, and there's always going to be gains that you're making in your playing. And I know that some days are tougher than others, but you really have to push through and try to be consistent with this. I promise it's really going to pay off. The guitar that I'm using in this video, I want to make a little note about it. This is the Magistral D-C by Manuel Rodriguez. It's a beautiful guitar that is priced under 700 euro. This is amazing, this instrument. I've never seen an instrument at this price point look this good. It is manufactured exclusively in Europe, and there is a rich history with the Rodriguez family. So Manuel Rodriguez Jr. now is the third generation in the Rodriguez family making these wonderful guitars. And they were always known for their high-end concert models. So to have a beautiful student line like this, it's a real treat. You know, I'm the type of guitarist, obviously my main concert guitar is priced at many thousands of dollars. I don't know what the current estimate on it is, but it's basically irreplaceable to me at this point. So I need to have a guitar that I feel confident with just taking, maybe if I'm doing a little bit of teaching, or if I need to have a guitar where my kids are around me and I need to pick it up and play something, and I'm not worried about anything happening to the instrument. I'm not worrying about one of my kids accidentally, playing on the strings and then scratching the surface of the guitar. This is a beautiful spare guitar for any professional to have. I feel great playing this. It feels like a professional instrument. It feels great in the hands. It looks great. And you know what? It also sounds really good. If you listen to me play the Bach Prelude, you can see that I'm really enjoying myself in playing. And it used to be that when I would play on one of my spare guitars, it would be kind of like I'm suffering, like, I can't wait to get home and play my main guitar. I don't feel that way with this guitar. I'm very happy with the sound. I'm very happy with the price point. And I'm very proud to recommend it to students that are looking for a guitar at this price point. So you really can't go wrong. 118 years now of Manuel Rodriguez tradition, and you know where the guitars are coming from. They're being made in Europe. They're not being made in some factory where you have no idea where the guitar is being shipped from. So there's definitely a reliability there. And both of the instruments that were sent to my house for me to try were two different models. And I really, really preferred this one. But the other model had just the same integrity, just the same quality. It's like you take it out of the packaging, you tune up the instrument, it's ready to go. It sounds fantastic right out of the box. So you really can't go wrong. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this little presentation on hammer-ons and pull-offs, and I'll join you next time. Thanks for watching this series. Take care.